When I ask you what are some examples of a perfect character, what would you say? Perhaps Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, or the hot dad from To Kill a Mockingbird, or obviously Birdly, because that is a no-brainer. While all of these are spectacular options, especially Birdly, I feel like the greatest example of a perfect character comes from the game Deltarune and lies within a little red blob. That's right, Nubert is everything that makes a character perfect and more. Dare I say, he might be the most perfect character in all of fiction. You might be thinking, that's crazy. A tiny red blob is a perfect character? He doesn't even have limbs. Well, dear viewer, take my hand and I'll guide you through the reasons why Nubert is not only a perfect character, but the perfect character. To start off, let's look at Nubert's first appearance. When you first enter the cyber world and come across this little red slime man, you probably wouldn't think much of him. You'd probably think he's just another quirky little NPC that was created just to have a funny little one-liner and never be seen again. But once you talk to him, his words feel like magic hitting your face. The things he says are like, well, have you seen that gif of the guy writing with fire all around him? Yeah, it's like that. He then shows off his generosity and grants the Fun Gang the item that was in his chest. Now this moment won't seem like much now, but when you reach the end of chapter 2, you can see Nubert say how he only gives his riches to the poor. Do you know what that means? Nubert saw the Fun Gang as nothing more than a group of children out on an adventure, and decided to give them a little something to help out on their silly little quest. He is the level 99 player giving his loot to the level 1 players. That is truly inspiring. His generosity doesn't stop there. It can be seen throughout the cyber world that wigs are a symbol of high status and shows that you are one of Queen's favorite people. Now, of course, Nubert has one of these wigs, and do you know what he does with it? He gives it to someone else. He had absolute power at his non-existent fingertips and gave it all away for someone else to be happy. Do you think his generosity ends there? As I stated before, Nubert has high status and is often seen having dinner with the Queen. That should mean he lives a life of luxury, right? Wrong. He lives in the garbage with that worthless character Trashy, who is just terrible in every conceivable way. Do you know why Nubert does this? Because he wants everyone else to have somewhere nice to live. Now, you might be saying, Nubert never says he lives in the garbage because he wants everyone else to have a home. Well, you're right. But take a look around Cyber City. It's a city, meaning that there should be a massive population of homeless people, right? Wrong. There are hardly any except for Spamton, who is just crazy, and Trashy, who is just the worst. This shows that Nubert's generosity is on a citywide level. Now, you often have characters who are considered perfect but are still hated by a lot of people. A good example of this would be Alan from The Amazing World of Gumball, a character who literally does so much good that without him the entire world would be destroyed, but is still hated by a lot of different characters. Nubert, on the other hand, is universally liked by everyone. Everyone in Cyber City holds Nubert in such high regard and sees him for what he truly is: perfect. Even Susie, a usually jaded and aggressive person, loves him. Now you could be saying, well, Susie mellowed out in the one day of growth she had, and yeah, maybe, but the main antagonist of the chapter, Queen, loves him. And if he doesn't join your town, she acts visibly sad. Even a character named Mousemillion, who considers himself to be leagues above every other member of his race, believe Nubert to be higher than him. It shows how both narcissism and the monarchy fall to their knees when they see Nubert, as he is truly the most loved character in the series. Now I've told you about all this great stuff Nubert has done, and by now you're probably convinced, but if you're still not, let me tell you why he's really perfect. If you go through chapter 2 and fail to recruit every single character in the cyber world, Nubert will refuse to join your town. Even if you miss one person, he refuses to join up with you. Do you know why? Because Nubert never leaves anyone behind, no matter who they are. You could be the absolute worst person in the entire world, or even worse, Trashy, and Nubert would still stay by your side because he is just that spectacular. And do you know what else? After learning about Nubert's absence in the castle town, Queen refers to him as a hero till the end. Now you could just look at this line as nothing more than a compliment to how great Nubert is, but you can also take it as proof that Nubert was in fact a legendary hero. It makes sense why he would view the Fun Gang as weak despite them defeating King, as he's just a veteran adventurer witnessing the birth of a new generation of heroes. So with Queen's line, it's safe to say that Nubert is quite literally the main character of a story that has already ended, and is now watching a new generation unfold. It explains why he didn't stop Queen before. Sure, he had the power to, but hey, his story's over, let the new kids have a turn in the sandbox. Not only is Nubert a perfect character, but he was also a main character. So that's about it for Nubert. I've said everything that needs to be said about his greatness, and if you still aren't convinced, it's whatever. Anyways, if you want a video on why Trashy is the worst character in all of fiction, please get this video to 25 likes. Anyways, thanks for watching and have a good rest of your day.